might be because the car broke down, or because you had some unexpected medical bills, or maybe the furnace or AC is on the fritz, or maybe you just spent too much last month. Not that anybody ever spends too much at Christmas time. That was sarcasm. The reason really doesn't matter. Everybody has money crunch months. Well, maybe there are people who don't have money problems from time to time, but we are going to exclude those 4 people and just go with everyone. Hey friend, it's Amy on A Lolly Life, and having you here is like finding money in my pocket. Which, I did find money in my pocket. It makes me smile and feel very blessed indeed. Here are 5 tips to help make ends meet when you're having a money crunch. Number 1, don't waste food. Use up your leftovers. Find what you can out of your cupboards or your freezer so that you aren't spending as much at the grocery. Even when we aren't having a money crunch, we have weeks where we use up things from the freezer. Every time that I make dinner, I try to use something from the freezer, so the stuff that is buried at the bottom or shoved into the way back doesn't become some kind of a cryogenic experiment. And I might do the same thing for the cupboards, where one week I look at all the different things that are in the cupboard, the canned goods and things, and anything that's older or has been in there for a while, then I try to incorporate that into one of our dinners. Try to use up the food that you have and rotate it through. My parents' shelves and cupboards were always way too full of forgotten canned goods. And of course, the freezer was jammed full enough to make a Tetris Grand Champion impressed. I can remember when growing up, finding things in the bottom of the freezer that were older than I was. Okay, so maybe that's an exaggeration, but only a little bit. Because I did clean out my parents' freezer one time, and I found some mystery meat that was more than a dozen years old. No joke. In case you're wondering, things don't last in the freezer for a dozen plus years. If you have things in your freezer that are that old, you should throw them away. Tell me in the comments about your oldest cryogenic experiment that you found in the freezer. Mystery meats. Ooh. Number 2, use your change. Most of us have a stash of change somewhere, either your car or your purse or wherever you empty your pockets. Now, you can take that change to the bank or to one of those coin counting machines, but they often charge a fee. If you grab a couple handfuls of change before you head out shopping each time, and you put it in your pocket or in your purse, then you can lower your grocery bills by a few dollars every time. It does not have to be an embarrassing thing where the clerk spends 10 minutes counting out your coins and you annoy everyone. At the self-checkout, you can drop a handful or 2 of change into the machine before you pay. It takes a few dollars off of each purchase, allowing you to use up your change without any fees and making your grocery bills less. Number 3, get rid of your entertainment and eating out budget for a month or 2. And if you don't actually have an entertainment or eating out budget, then you should just, get rid of eating out and entertainment, because you probably still spend money on it, whether it's budgeted or not. When you remove or scale way back your entertainment and eating out budget, it can save you boatloads of money. Boatloads. That's a lot. Instead of going to the movies, stay in. Make popcorn and watch a movie at home. There are free activities in basically every town out there. We need to get rid of the idea that we have to spend a lot of money in order to make a memory or have a good time. Make your own drink in the morning instead of paying somebody else to do it for you. And here's a very hard truth. It won't kill you not to eat out. Honest. And your waistline will thank you. I understand that you're tired and you don't feel like cooking and you're too busy, but even when you're tired, you get up and go to work because that's what you have to do to support yourself and your family. Your ability to cook a few basic meals at home is a huge money-saving skill. Huge. Number 4, carpool, so you save on gas. The price of gas is a huge budget buster. I mean, if you were to just go to the store to buy bread and milk, it could cost twice as much just because of the money that you have to spend on gas to get you to the store and back. Of course, carpooling to your kids' activities is a great idea, but there are plenty of ways to get creative so that you aren't spending as much money on gasoline. If you have the option to work a few days at home, do it. If you need to run to the grocery store, then pair it with some other errands that are close by the store. If you can walk to the grocery store, do it. I mean, seriously, it's fabulous exercise. Not only are you saving because you don't have to spend any money on gasoline, but also, if you do it very often, I can guarantee that you will not be overspending at the grocery store because you will not want to lug it all back home. With all the walking, you don't have to feel the slightest bit guilty when you cancel your gym membership, which leads us on to number 5, not 4, 5. Cancel a subscription you don't use or are willing to do without. Now, while this does not make things better that exact month, it does help in the long run. And let's be real honest. When it comes to a money crunch, they usually last longer than a month. Money crunches have this ripple effect that makes your budget look like a monster for an awful long time. I've talked about in another video how subscriptions can completely ruin you financially and how hard it can be to get rid of auto-pays. While making that video, I realized that we had a few auto-pay subscriptions that we had not used in a crazy long time. We were basically throwing money away every month for something that we didn't want and didn't use. If you want more information on what to look out for with subscriptions and monthly fees, then click on this video where I dive into that topic a little bit further. Or farther. Further, a little bit farther. A little bit further. Which one is it? Further or farther? People can usually afford anything that they really, really want. We just can't afford everything that we want. So make good choices when you're spending your money. And I will see you on the next episode of A Lolly Life.